All right, go for it.
And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the fellowship of the breaking of the bread and the prayers, and all came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together and had all things in common.
Yeah. All right. Now Isaiah 58. Somebody turn to Isaiah 58. That's in the Old Testament. The Old Testament. Isaiah. The prophets. Towards the end. You got it? Isaiah 58? 5. Verse 5. Isaiah 58, verse 5. Just verse 5. That's all you got to read. All right, listen, everybody. Listen.
Is it to bow down his head like a reed, and spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Will you call us fast and they acceptable to the Lord?
Yeah. So, how many, we'll come back to these verses here in just a little bit, but 2022 was kind of a weird year, wasn't it? I mean, we came off of 2021, which was insane. And it kind of got better, and it got, for me, I'm still talking about myself, it got better for a little while, and it got worse, it got better. It was kind of a weird year. I think it ended good, but, and there were a lot of pluses, a lot of cool things that happened, not the least of which was, even though, hey, welcome guys, come on in. Not the least of which was that one of my hearts when we moved here was to have a youth group, was to be able to impact the youth. I've always been a part of youth ministry. I've said this before. And so when I approached Pastor Greg and he got excited about doing youth and started this group, that was like a dream come true for me. So one of the really cool things that happened was this youth group, you guys, and how you're growing and how you're changing. And I love it. I love to watch what God is doing in your life. I love to hear Tyler talk and share what God's doing in his life and challenging you guys. I love to watch you guys worship and hear you sing and get crazy. Don't lose that. Don't lose that craziness in worship. But there's a lot of things that were kind of weird. And honestly, I'm kind of looking for things to change for the better in 2023. Mostly in myself. Because I don't feel like I ended on a good note. Anybody else there? Anybody else feel like they didn't end on a good note? Like 2022, what did you say?
For 2021?
No, 2022. Like at the end of last year, I felt like the year was okay, but I didn't feel like I was where I needed to be. Anybody else feel like that?
A little bit.
Yeah. Like I was not like, I could have done better. I could have, to go back to that Jersey accent, could have done better. Or is that Boston? I don't know.
That's Boston.
Is that Boston?
Yeah.
Spend a quarter for some water for my dog.
Yeah, that's
It's actually pretty good.
That's all I know though, man. That's it.
I don't know
That's
what it
all
is,
I got.
but it sounds funny.
That's all I got. So, but I felt like I need to do something and change it. So I really want God to do some deep changes in me this year. And it doesn't matter how long you serve God, you get to those places. You get to those places where you just want God to do something different. And it's not God. He's God. He doesn't change. He's always good. He's always loving. He's always kind. He's always perfect. That's who God is. He can't change. He won't change. And so, but we can change. We can change. And God can change us. And so, but the thing about change is, how many of you have tried to change yourself in the past and it not work out so well? Anybody, just me? Just like, no, it worked out great. I've been fine.
No, you're just like...
These people right next to me, they're horrible.
Not that
That's
bad.
not a weird one.
You're not that bad. Trust me.
Not always.
But I've tried to change myself. I've tried to change my, what I do, how I act on my own. And the reality is, I can't. There's no way for us to change ourselves. Only God is the changer. And the good news is it doesn't matter where you're at. God can do new creations, right?
Yeah.
So He created the earth. He said He created things from brand new, right? Yeah. There was nothing there. He just spoke and things were created. And then He says at the very end, when all things are done, He said there's going to be a new creation. That all the old things are going to pass away, so much so that they won't even be remembered. And he's going to do a new creation. So we need to remember as we're going into 2023, if we want things changed in our life, if we want things changed around us, chances are not that we won't have any part in it, but we really can't change ourselves. That's why we need Jesus. Right?
Yep.
We need him because I can't change myself. I tried for a long time, and it wasn't until I gave my heart to Christ that I started to change. And then, even then, I had an addiction, and I've talked to you guys about that in my life. And it wasn't until God really did some deep things and deep healing in me that he set me free from that. So as I look at 2023, I know that God can do the change. I want change, but I know I can't do it on my own. So what's the other option? Let God do it. Right? But how do we do that? One of the things I want you guys to do this year with me is last year we did 100 days, and don't get freaked out, okay? 100 days of prayer and fasting. This year we're going to do 21 days of prayer, fasting, and generosity. And I did this with the church last year. I don't think we did it with the youth, but this year I really think you guys are ready for this. Has anybody fasted before? Raise your hand. You?
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours?
Bells.
Was that, you look at me like that was it. That's all I could handle. 2 hours.
Technically a day, except I had dinner.
I did a whole
But like
I had mashed potatoes.
I've done a whole week.
No.
A whole week of fasting?
Yeah, I had
Is that what you
I
said?
haven't eaten this way, so I am used to it.
Oh.
Who else fasted? How did you fast? You fasted.
Yeah.
What did you do? What was your fast?
It was like food for like 3 days or something.
Food for 3 days? Like all food, just water?
Yeah, water.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, okay. Now, this sounds like I'm joking. No, I love that. And you said you did potatoes.
I
Yeah.
ate mashed potatoes for dinner.
Potatoes?
No, I ate mashed potatoes for dinner, but I didn't eat anything else that whole day.
Now, is that for like a medical thing?
No.
I think she was just asleep the
I
whole
just-
day. Woke up, had dinner,
One
went to bed.
potato.
Right.
He's like,
So
I
what-
fasted.
You didn't
No.
fast, you just didn't eat.
I just didn't eat food. But I then that night I was like, oh, dinner. I'm not that hungry, so I didn't just eat potatoes. That's not.
That's not fasting. But, I mean,
I do all the time.
alright, so you fasted though, you said.
I
Right?
fasted breakfast, so slept through it.
You slept through it. That's not fasting, people.
That's not
No,
fasting.
I'm making fun of it.
Not fun.
I did
I
like
never eat that.
That's just not eating.
I think it was like 4 days of food.
4 days no food? Okay. Have you fasted?
no.
Hey.
Possibly do that.
It's possible.
I don't
It's
think this
possible.
guy's ever
What about you,
fasted.
Elizabeth?
I don't think that one ever
What
fasted.
was your favorite fast? I mean, that's kind of weird. It really is not favorite fast. What was your most impactful? Do you remember one?
No, he's getting there.
You don't remember? What was your longest fast? Don't remember. All right. What'd you do? Fast. What'd you do?
I did like 5 days
5 days?
of food.
No food, 5 days.
Water, and I just meditated on the word and got me food.
That's awesome. That's a long time to go without any food. What about you?
Oh, obvious. I do like all the time.
Yes, please.
What's your go-to fast? Like how long do you do?
Like normally, I do just 2 days. I do like that once a week.
Gosh. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Have you ever fasted? Okay, we'll talk about it. Have you ever fasted?
Vegetable, though. I want to die.
No?
I need water.
I think we lost it.
So,
No? Okay. Mr. Isaac, have you ever fasted?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Are you leaving? You're not allowed to leave.
I'm just getting him water.
Oh,
My keys are in there anyways.
okay. Okay.
I did a 3-day water fast.
3-day water fast? Has anybody done a week? Well, I think you said, who said they did a week?
Me.
You done a week. Has anybody done 2 weeks?
I want to. I want to go a whole month.
Oh, I've done 2 weeks, but not of food.
Has anybody done 21 days?
I've done the week of Muslim.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. Y'all ready? I'm going to ask you to fast for 21 days.
Heck yeah.
Oh, I would die. Look at me.
No, that's not how it works.
Wait, food?
I'm going to ask you to pray and fast
Food?
and be generous for 21 days.
Oh, I can do that.
Wait, which kind of fast? You're talking like Daniel fast, is that what you call it?
But here's the deal. Yeah. So here's the deal.
I'm
I'm not asking you just to go without food for 21 days. First of all, that would be dangerous. I wouldn't ask you to do that. The Lord might. But if He does, it's Him, not me. And it would have to be Him to get you through it. Right? Yeah. No, I mean, it's. I know people that have done 40-day fasts without any food and just water.
That was Jesus.
No, I know. The first guy, there was after I got saved, there was an African pastor that came he visited from Africa.
No, they're different.
And he...
Yeah, they're used to
They're
it.
built different.
No, it's not. They're not different. They're made just like you, believe it or not.
No,
They built
they're
different.
Like crazy guys.
They
he
built
went 40 days. He almost died. And
This is why we don't fast.
he came over. But no, listen, God had touched him so powerfully. The first time he came to my church in Phoenix, actually it was Greg's church too. And he had me come up and he had me like bend over like really weird, and I was in the shape of Africa. He had
what?
arms, so- yeah, I don't know. But it was used to be like a human mat. You know, he's like, okay, I'm from here, and then I go, you know. So he was doing this weird thing, and then after that, he prayed for me. He just like put his hand right here and prayed for me, and like I went out. Yeah, like that.
Touch me, Sarah.
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 Yeah, I was out. And so when I came to later on, I went home. No, listen, I went home and I thought it was fake. I really thought like I was making that up. It didn't happen. And I went home, and my mom, who was not a Christian, but she was raised Catholic, she understood kind of the things of the Spirit. Even though she wasn't a Christian, she understood them. And she looked at me, and I'm trying to share with her what happened during the day. And I didn't even tell her that this guy had prayed for her. Hadn't got to that part yet. She looked at me, and she goes, "You're drunk." And I was drunk. I was literally drunk in the Spirit. I mean, I was slurring my words. I was, doing all kinds of weird stuff. And so, but I'm not asking you, that kind of digress. I'm not asking you to go 21 days without food. Just leave these people alone.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I'm not asking you to go 21 days without food. But what I am asking is find something, some way to dedicate 21 days to the Lord. And it's got to be, it can't be like if Luke, y'all know Luke, right? Crazy Luke. He tells people that he fasts cigarettes every January. The Jim doesn't smoke. It's not fasting. Yeah. Yeah, he just jokes around. He'll tell people I gave up meth for New Year's. And it's like, dude, you don't do meth, okay? That's not the same. So, I'm not asking you to do something that is, I'm being serious here. I'm not asking you to do something that's easy. It needs to be something that's a sacrifice.
Like,
Okay, so here's some things. Let me talk about some things real quick. What a fast is it's a time when you give something up for God. And you dedicate that time. For instance, if you're not eating, the idea is then you take your food. It's actually not just so that you don't eat. It's then you take your food that you normally eat and you give it to somebody else. Right? Isaiah 58 that we just read talks about that pretty clearly. Yeah. So if we read, we won't read all of Isaiah 58, but if you read all of Isaiah 58, God says, this is the kind of fast that I have declared. That you would take care of the widow, that you would take care of those that are in need among you. So it's not just, he says, not just a day to not eat, but it's so that you can take care of others. But also, fasting is giving something up so that you can dedicate that time to God. It might be, like, these are the kind of fasts I've done through the years. I've done a lot. I've done a meat fast, where for a month, I just don't eat meat. And as somebody who is a diehard carnivore, I mean, I love meat. I'm just saying, I love it. Bacon, chicken, beef, pork, I don't care. Give it to me. I love it. That's the mainstay of my diet, and it shouldn't be, but it is. And so I will go for, I've done 40 days without meat, and it's not easy. I've done a Daniel fast. A Daniel fast is kind of that, but on another level. A Daniel fast is where you only eat fruits and vegetables. That's it. Like no bread. And I love bread. So that's a Daniel fast. And I've done that for 21 days. I've done that for 40 days. I've done like social media. What? social media. For some people that is easy. For some people that's really hard.
I've been fasting 9 months.
No social media for 9 months?
I fasted
I've been wondering where you've been. What were you going to say?
Fast.
A couple months ago, we were forced to by our teacher to fast off of social media, but yesterday I deleted all my apps, so when you open my phone, it's just Bible. Every day.
Nice.
You wanna see?
You want to see?
Sure, yeah. Break it out. So, fast something that is difficult. Like I've done a TV fast. I don't watch any TV for 21 days. Okay, can I tell you something though? You're not more spiritual for having 42 versions of the Bible.
Yeah. His whole entire block, his
Just
whole
saying.
phone screen is just.
One version will do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's trying to pull a
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of
Sam.
you. He's doing what? He's faking it? No, did you say he's faking it?
No, I said he's trying to pull a Sam.
Oh,
If
You know,
you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'll take it. So anyways, but find something that you can that you would give up. I've given up chocolate because I love chocolate. Anybody else love chocolate?
I love Ferrero Rocher.
You what?
The only chocolate I like is Ferrero, like.
Rocher? Yeah. I love chocolate. It doesn't matter. I've given up coffee.
You say adding.
So here's the thing. There's different types of fasts. And here's a cool thing, y'all ready? I made a thing for the church. And it says, these are 10 different fasting examples from the Bible. You ready? There's the disciples' fast, found in Matthew 17. For deliverance from sin, addiction, bondage, we fast. We can break the power of sin and addiction. That's why they fasted. Ezra's fast, which was God's help in solving problems. So this goes through all the different ways in the Bible, or at least 10 different ways, that there were different fasts that were done for different purposes. There was Samuel's fast, Elijah's fast, the widow's fast, Paul's fast, John the Baptist's fast, Esther fasted, Jesus fasted for spiritual. Jesus himself fasted, so you think it's probably important that we do it?
Yes.
Well,
Daniel's
Jesus also
fast.
walked on water, so.
He walked, yes. He walked on water. And if he can walk on water and he still needs to fast, then that means that we who cannot walk on water probably should fast.
Or it means those who fast need to walk on water. But
Well,
it doesn't mean that.
I'll tell you what, after 21 days, we'll meet at the lake and we'll see if you can walk on water. Okay, we'll just test it out.
For sure.
If God lets us talk about it.
He could. And we could. I totally believe that. So let me talk about, listen. I'm going to talk about 3 different types of fasts. You ready? So here's one. What is an absolute fast? No food, no water, like nothing. And I've done that, and it is very, yes. It's hard. It's very hard. This is only do an absolute fast if you are directed from God to do it, and only do it for 3 days. Do not try to go 4.
For food?
Everything. Food, water, everything. Okay, that's an absolute fast. I'm not asking you to do that. You got to listen. Because what I'm saying is it's a type of fast. So that's 3 days. Don't exceed 3 days if you do that. There's a full fast, which is no food or juice of any kind, water only. That's a full fast. Just water only. Then there's a partial fast, and there's different types of partial fasts. We talked about some of them. Daniel fast, which is where you have no meat, no sweets, no bread, drink only water and juice, and eat only fruits and vegetables.
No
What about
coffee.
rice?
No coffee.
No.
I tried that.
No Dutch
Vegan
Bros.
dude.
What about rice?
Daniel fast is hard.
Because of juice.
Huh?
What about rice?
Lemonade.
I think you can do rice. No rice.
Because it's fruit
No.
that's juiced.
No rice. Just fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, it's lemon
You
juice.
can-
The
what?
Colombian part of me and Juan Marcos would cry if we couldn't have rice.
I know. I've given up coffee, and it's the hardest thing for me to give up.
me.
Is there a seafood fast? Is there a seafood fast? I don't think there's a... So this isn't something so you get what you want. This is so you give up what you want. And do you not like seafood?
No, I love seafood.
Well, then no.
Do you eat it a lot?
I eat it. Sushi. Good enough.
Like how often? Do you eat it every day?
No, but when I do have it, I love sushi.
Okay. I I would say doing a seafood fast is probably not a fast, because if you don't get it all the time and it's not something you crave and desire and is helping you every day, it's kind of hard, because you want something that every day is drawing you to the Lord. Like when you feel that, for instance, if you give up coffee when you wake up in the morning and you want that first coffee cup, instead of taking that first coffee cup, it's a reminder, oh, I need to focus in on God. I need to pray. So you grab a cup of water and your Bible, and you sit down and you pray, right? So if you don't eat seafood all the time, it would become kind of hard for that to be a fast. If you were living by the ocean, right, and it was a part of your diet every day, like 2 to 3 meals a day, that might be a type of fast, right? But you want something that's going to cost you something. There's a daytime fast, which is like from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. or sun up to sundown. So you can fast it that way. There's different types of fasting periods, and I'm not going to go through that, but they're on here. I want you guys to grab one of these when you go out, okay? Even if you don't think you need it, you might. And then we're going to talk about, so I want you to fast. Figure something out. 21 days. 21 days. We're going to start tomorrow. And we'll end the fast basically in 3 weeks. The last day of the fast will be our service 3 weeks from now. Okay? Yeah. Okay? So we'll start tomorrow. I want you to find something. And then I don't just want you to fast. I want you to really dig into God. I want you to pray, read your word during that time of the day. Okay? Whatever it is you're fasting. If you normally are on social media, take that time and read something. Study something.
James.
Yeah. Yes.
Are we allowed to fast something that causes us like a lot of stress?
Yes.
No, you're not allowed to skip school for 21 days.
Okay.
Was it school? Were you going to
Did I
go
call
there?
it?
Yeah, you cannot
Go.
fast school. No. No, that's not fasting, because if it's something you don't like, then that's just, that's a little different, right? The idea of fasting is you're giving up something that you desire or need so that you can draw closer to God. It's a way to deny yourself, and so you can prove to yourself, here's what fasting does. It proves to yourself that God really does give you the strength to make it through, and you don't have to listen to your own cravings, whatever those are, right? Really, fasting is about giving up something that you crave. Do you crave school?
No.
Okay. So that would be a fast.
I mean, I craved it so much.
It's my favorite thing ever. Like, I wake up every day.
Crave your
It
crush,
seems
is
like
that what
one
you said?
in my mind.
No,
I wanna get a
not
check.
like that.
You can't get the phone for 3
It's
weeks.
my motivation to school.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, now you can fast your crush if you want.
Oh, no.
No.
I don't
I
have
just
one.
skip that.
I don't have one.
Call up your crush and just go, hey, for the next 21 days, you're out. See how that goes over. All right, listen. So that's fasting. So I want you to decide what to do about that. But it's also fasting and prayer. So every day I want you to pray. I'm not asking you to pray 20 minutes. I'm asking you just to pray, right? Pray. Start with 5 minutes. Set an alarm if you need to. Set an alarm, but actually pray for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Pray until the alarm goes off. And then after a week, try to do 10 minutes. If it's not something you're used to doing, set an alarm. Set an alarm and just pray during that time. And when the alarm goes off, you're okay. And then the third week, try to do 15 minutes. You know, it doesn't have to be a long time. But spend time praying every day. Okay? It's really easy. And so the fasting is going to be the hard part. Praying is going to be the second. And the last one I want you to do is I want you to be generous. You know why? Because Jesus was generous. Huh?
After you're done, Juan and I have a story.
Okay. So I want you to be generous. And let me talk about ways that you can be generous. What's the obvious way to be generous? Anybody?
Giving people.
Giving people?
No, giving to people.
Giving to people. Here's a person. Take him.
Let's go.
Here's Tony. Take my Tony.
You guys don't want me.
So no, yeah. Giving people, we go to jail for that. Let's not give people. Instead, let's give to people. But you can give to people what? Like, what's the most common way to give in the United States?
Like kindness.
Money.
Oh.
Money.
Like kindness.
Yeah. So money is the most common way. It is the most common way.
I like it.
You like giving money away?
No.
You don't like giving money away?
What about the
Question.
food, like a food bank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time is money, so can I give people my time?
No.
Like, does that,
Absolutely.
like,
So listen.
My kindness.
Here's where I want to go with this, right? I want you to hear me. So I want you to give. I want to talk about some ways that you can give and be generous. One of them is money. If you, how many have jobs and are earning money, or you get money and you get to spend it however you want? Okay. So money becomes, the moment you start having money, it becomes really precious, right? Because then you're like, ooh, I can spend this on this and this.
I like some.
Yeah, but like, what happens to bills?
If you have what?
Bills.
Well, then you gotta pay your bills. You gotta pay your bills. I mean, that's just part of it. So being generous with money is just, but I want to point this out, being generous with money is just one way that you can be generous. So there are others. So let's talk about this. You can be generous with your time.
Words.
Yeah, with your time. You can spend time to build relationships with people. Like instead of just getting on, I want to encourage you, instead of just getting on games or getting on social media, actually meet somebody, go hang out. I mean, go do something. You know what I mean? Get together, play a board game. I mean, something. You know? Some of those games are fun. Help a neighbor, lend a hand, do something like that. You can volunteer somewhere. You can, if somebody's sick, you can go care for the sick. If somebody's playing with a water bottle, you can not kill them. You can help somebody move. You know, all kinds of ways you can be generous with your time. You can be generous with your things. Ooh, y'all think money's hard. Sometimes being generous with our stuff is even more so. You can find stuff that you have extra of. Like, let's say that Tyler has 2 of those sweet hoodies. He wants to donate one.
He does. Sweet. Hey. He
Ew,
does.
Marcus.
He has 2 of them.
And he's like, you know what? I got this dude who's really been sweating my hoodie, and so maybe I'll. But you might have extra things, or maybe you don't have extra things. Maybe there's something that one of your friends said, "Hey man, that's really cool. I love that. I wish I could have one day or something." And you just and the whole. I don't want you just to go give stuff away. What I'm saying is maybe the Holy Spirit will touch your heart and go, "You need to give that to him." It can be hard, yeah, right? It can be hard, but you can be generous. Listen, I'm serious about this. If the Lord leads you that way, let me tell you that you will never regret it, because God will blow your mind with what He does after that. Blow your mind. Does it mean that you'll get the same thing back? Not necessarily, but He will blow your mind with what He does. Okay. So you can, with your things, you can give a ride to somebody in your nice Mustang.
My nice Mustang.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if no one wants
You have to walk.
Somebody wants your what?
What if God needs to give you a purity ring?
If God leads you to give your purity ring away. I wouldn't say that God would never lead you to do that, because God is a whole lot bigger than I am. But I would say that would be an odd thing for Him to do.
Yeah, but what if it benefit the other person more than it benefit me?
I would talk with your mom and whoever it was that did that with you and for you.
Well, is there anything like help me?
Or what if you get a purity ring for them? Oh. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying He won't.
Yeah.
He might. I did see, because that ring was given to you specifically for a specific purpose, and it would be. Again, I'm not saying that God wouldn't do that, but that would be kind of strange. I would think, okay, God, I would ask Him, are you asking me to get a ring for them? And kind of walk through this with them on what this means. Or he might. I mean, He might say, hey, Tyler, I want you to give this, and this is the reason why. Jesus did a lot of weird things, okay? That people were like, why are you doing that? So He might. If He does, give it away. Give it away now. Sorry. There's always a song, y'all. Always a song. So lend whatever you're fortunate to have. There's ways to be generous with our things. Generous with hospitality. Anybody tell me what hospitality is?
When
Yeah.
somebody comes over to your house and you give them a bottle of water in a
A
bag.
bottle of vodka? What?
A bottle of chips.
A bottle
Bottle of chips.
A bottle of chips.
Bottle of chips.
and a bag of water.
And a bag
Well,
of
just
water.
bottle of chips, bro.
So, well, that's better than, I thought you said vodka. I really did.
That's very
That's
comfortable.
my mom. Wait. That's my
That is not the kind of hospitality we are talking about.
Let's go. I want to meet you.
So listen, seriously, hospitality is just that. It's being kind, not just when you're at your house, but it's treating people, anytime you have control of a situation, it's treating them with extreme kindness, making them feel welcome, drawing them in, right? Like some of you guys did that tonight with Bishop Tony here. So, wow.
I'm getting more and
He's
more.
getting promoted. So when he came in tonight, like Tyler went over and said hi, the girls went over and said hi, and you made him feel welcome. You made him what? So you guys made him feel welcome. That's a part of hospitality, but not just doing it to the people you like, right?
Oh.
Because it's easy to do that with the people you like,
Wait, so like you can bring
but being hospitable with people that maybe they drive you nuts. Or maybe going out of your way to include somebody that normally you would not include. Maybe that really weird person that sits in the corner. His name's Tyler.
Hey, are you looking at me?
He's talking about us.
You just brought
His face.
No, but in all seriousness, making people feel welcome, making them feel like they matter, right? Even if they're strange, even if they're awkward, even whatever it is, making them feel welcome, making them feel like they matter, because people do matter. Let me tell you, everybody on this planet, Jesus died for.
Jesus died for you.
And if Jesus thought enough to go to the cross for them, you should think enough to love them.
I love you.
She literally just said, I love you, and slapped her. I'm not sure.
That's true love right
But you can give somebody like a cup of coffee, you could offer them a meal. There's all kinds of ways that you can be hospitable, okay? All right, so being generous with your words. How could you be generous with your words? Anybody? Yes.
Don't lie.
Don't, no, that's
Yeah,
good.
you struggle.
That's actually really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to put that on here next year. That's really good. Don't lie. Tell people the truth, but telling them in a loving way. Right? That's important. That's one way we can be generous, especially for someone who doesn't.
Wait, what if somebody's okay? Wait, and what if like
You can't
your
skip
best
school. I'm
friend's
not changing that.
not talking about? Okay.
Your best friend.
What if my best friend's outfit looks like really bad, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. Is it cute?" And then you're like, "Yeah, that's lying,
That's lying.
but it's helpful."
Am I the only
It's not
one that
helpful.
has no
But
filter?
There's no such thing.
Like you look
Honesty is
ugly.
the best
Okay,
no,
let
like,
me
you
just
can
say there's no
What if
such.
you're like, "Oh, you look disgusting"?
That's mean.
Just don't
So
say
there's
say it in a
you
different
just jumped from lying to being mean.
That
So there's
makes
something
you
in the
good
middle.
idea.
There's something in the
That's
middle.
also be that.
That
I need to get
doesn't
that.
fit your personality.
Hey, but just say.
So-
Me
so here's the
personally, I
thing.
don't like it, but if you like it, that's cool. That's what you need to say. You don't say, oh, it looks disgusting.
Yeah.
Excuse
That's
me.
like there's situational things, right? So because I know girls, guys don't do this because it's weird. But girls, like, they'll be at the house getting ready, they'll go in, they'll get changed, they'll come out and say, does this look good, you know? And that's your opportunity to say, you know what, I kind of like the other outfit better. That one is not the best on me,
Figure out what clothes are clean.
right? So that's one way to handle it. If they're at school and they don't have an opportunity to change,
Then just be like, "Oh, you're like
then you can just say, do you like it? And they're like, yeah, then okay, does anything else really matter? If they like it, you know.
But that's only one
Now if they
person.
look like a hoochie mama, you might want to say
Like a what?
something, okay?
Hoochie mama.
Seriously, you don't want to let your friends walking around looking inappropriate. We talked about that in the purity thing, didn't we?
Yep.
So, you can be generous with your words. You can speak positively. You can encourage someone. You can give them sincere compliments. Like if they say, does this outfit look good? You know what? Your hair looks amazing today.
That's
that one thing.
That's wait. What's that thing called? Where it's
That should be the
changing the topic. That's
Yeah.
you're changing the topic. You're
You
not
might need to.
answering the question.
You might need to.
That's not good though.
That's good. It's better than lying.
But that's still
Or better than telling them the truth and hurting their feelings.
truth hurts.
Am I the only one that's but y'all are too nice. I would be like to my friend like, no,
Well,
let's
okay,
let's
so
go change
cultural-
you.
So
Let's
that's
go
a
change
lie.
you.
Yeah. So
That's a
culturally,
lie.
like Hannah has friends from Jamaica,
You know.
and
Oh,
yeah, she has friends from Jamaica, and they won't wait for somebody to ask. Like if they don't in Jamaica, they don't.
Uh-uh.
If you don't look
It's
good,
Spanish.
they will walk up to you and say
It's
that doesn't
Spanish.
look good. But they don't just leave it
I
there.
respect it.
Like we
They
went to
say-
we go take you.
Yes,
To
they
go
will
get
take
changed.
them and they will help them get changed.
Dang, I respect
Like
that.
they'll say that doesn't look good. Let me help you fix your hair. I mean,
Parents would just be like,
yeah, and so they had a lot of
That's
problems when they came to because they're at Grand Canyon University. They had a lot of problems because they came to Grand Canyon and offended a lot of people because they would come up and this one girl walked in and she just got her hair done and she was like, what did you do? What happened? And they said, let me fix your hair. And she's like, I just got it done, you know. So
Girl.
there is cultural things, right? So that's there. All right. So you can be generous with your talent. How many of you guys have a skill that I'm not talking about something weird, but you have a skill that you could teach somebody?
Teach. About
What's your
Jesus.
skill? Okay.
That's not.
Wait,
That is
hold
a
on. It
talent.
depends
I
on what
think-
situation it is.
Okay.
Like what? Like
Let's say like singing. Like you have singing and you can teach somebody how to sing, or you can teach somebody how to play guitar. Yes, ma'am. What you got?
oh,
Soccer.
Soccer. There you go. You can teach somebody how to play soccer. So you can be generous. You can be generous with your talent. If you're on a soccer team, you can help somebody with their skills, but do it in a nice way where you're not demeaning them, right? So you could volunteer and use your skills, like in youth, to do something in youth. Yes, sir.
Nothing.
What were you gonna say?
Mine was already said.
Okay, that's all right. Say it.
Yeah.
Soccer.
I'm like, I can teach people skills. Like
Yeah.
at camp. At camp there was these two people. There was this one Hispanic woman and this one dude. And they asked me how to do the rainbow and I just taught them.
Nice.
oh yeah, he taught me how
That's
to do
fine.
the rainbow.
That's fine. Do the rainbow's fine.
Rainbow's
I can't do that.
It is, but then you just practice it.
No,
because
I just can't get it
it's-
over my head. I
I
can
taught the
launch
dude
it
in 10
behind me.
minutes.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can launch it behind me, just not in front of me.
That way.
You got it. Are you wearing boots?
I can do boots, yeah.
That's
He's
fine.
wearing tennis shoes.
You gotta have tennis shoes. You gotta have something with flexible ankles. So, but being generous with your skills.
Make my high top.
All right. So you can be generous with civility. Does anybody know what civility
Civilians?
is? Civility.
Civilians. I'm
Being
civilian.
civil to somebody.
Being civil to somebody. Yeah. Being nice. Right. Be kind always, even when they're asking you, "Does this look good on me?" Look for opportunities to help people. Practice good sportsmanship. Here's a hard one for me. Y'all ready?
What'd you say?
Practicing civility. You know what fits in that? Driving with kindness.
Oh,
Well, I tried like
I got
maniac
road rage.
sometimes.
No, thank
y'all,
you.
I'm just being honest. True confessions for Pastor James. I don't have road rage, but I drive aggressively.
Mine too.
Yeah, like those roundabouts.
Oh, people will
Oh, I
literally
can't
like
drive
try to
fast
cut
around those.
you
I'll
off,
flip.
and
Oh.
like because they like once they like take the curve, they go in front of you, or like it's
Yeah.
so annoying. It's like
Bro.
stay in your freaking lane. That's where there's two freaking
No,
lanes.
Not
Not
really.
necessarily though.
I'm just saying that would
You
be
can get in front of people
What do you
in
do
the
when you
roundhouse.
get
There's
that
two
one?
lanes.
No, but like if they
No,
slow
I
down,
don't
if
know.
they slow
Right.
down,
But you
for
can go
some
like
reason-
45 miles an hour.
Well,
You
Well,
can
I
go
That's
know
where I
that,
start
so
to
like,
Okay.
if like, cause sometimes it's better
That's
to
right.
take it
Yeah.
slow, cause then if you go fast, like,
Oh yeah, when they go like 2 miles an hour because they don't know how to drive.
well,
Okay.
it's better to be safe than sorry, you know. But like, if you like go in
Yeah.
front of you and like speed and then slow down to like make you like,
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
and it's like,
Move.
So here's the thing.
it's like,
So here's the thing. So be nice when you're driving. That's one way to be civil. Be generous with your civility.
I've
Be
had
generous
this
with
already.
your gracious. Listen. Be generous with our attitude. Except, yeah. Don't.
sorry,
I'm nice.
You can do it. You can do it.
I can try.
You can do it.
I can be nice.
Be generous with your attitude. Accept others. Admit when we're wrong, and they're right.
Oh, a lot of people have hearts.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't do.
Yeah, that's tough. Admit when you're wrong and they're right. Be humble. Think of not thinking that we're above anybody. Right? Hey, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm just here to pick up my daughter. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I don't. Okay, now I see you.
Yeah.
I have my reading glasses on. All
I
right.
got you.
It's great having you. How was your birthday, by the way? Was it good? Awesome. Thanks for letting us come, man.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a great night.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So be patient, be cooperative, celebrate others' successes, right? Celebrate others' successes. We can be generous with what we don't say and do, Sarah. I'm just kidding.
Wait, I didn't hear what you said.
No, I was just being mean, and I shouldn't be mean.
Oh,
Be gracious with what no, I'm not mean.
I know, just playing.
So be gracious with what we don't say and what we don't do. In other words, y'all ready for this? No gossiping.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Oh,
That is
dang.
very easy.
Me.
Is gossiping just saying stuff that isn't true?
no, it's saying something when somebody. You're saying something about somebody when they're
Talking behind someone's back. Bad about them.
It's doing something that can hurt
And it-
someone.
Yeah, and it may not even.
Slang. Gossip.
It may not
That's
even be. It may not be bad, but it may be inappropriate. Right?
Got silent.
But what if you're
Wait,
talking? Wait.
Say that one more time.
What if you're talking?
Gossip doesn't necessarily have to be something bad. It can, but even if it's not bad, it may be inappropriate to share.
Like,
So, for instance, if I know something, this happens a lot. This happens a lot to me in a pastoral role.
Yeah.
Because people share things with me in confidence, right?
Yeah.
And if they share something with me in confidence, it might actually be a good thing. But then if I go share it with somebody else, that's gossip,
Oh no.
even though it's a good thing.
so if
Like I'm not sharing something bad,
you have permission.
but
to
I'm
have it.
gossiping. If I have permission to share it, that's one thing.
That's not gossip.
Right?
If you have permission.
If you have gossip, if you have permission, then it's not gossip. Gossip is sharing something that you don't have the right to
I
share.
have a question.
What?
Yeah, but if like someone told you an accomplishment that they did, and then you tell someone else, oh, it's not gossiping.
It's not gossiping if they didn't share it. Remember what I said though is if they share it in confidence. Okay? So let's take this to an extreme. I see your hand. Hold on just a second. Let's take this to an extreme. All right. Tyler comes up and he says, "I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I played the lottery and I won. But I don't want you to tell anybody because everybody's going to be knocking down my door, and I'm going to have to start telling a bunch of people no. So I want you to keep it." So then that's not a bad thing, right? He just shared with me something in confidence.
Everyone in the room would tell somebody.
Yeah, so he shared something with confidence, but then I go to Sarah and I was like, "Did you hear Tyler won the lottery? Ooh, don't tell anybody. The boy's rich." Right? So I broke confidence. That's gossip. Okay? It's a good thing, but he asked me not to share. So gossip isn't necessarily bad things. Gossip is anything that is inappropriate to share. Like we don't have permission, we shouldn't share it.
You should share
Yes.
So what if it's something that somebody didn't tell? Like they didn't tell you. Like what if I was like, "Oh, have you seen Sarah's hair today? It looks like so good." It's not like, and she's
That's
like
not gossip.
over
That's
there.
not
If
gossip.
you're
That's not
sharing a
gossip.
compliment of somebody, it's your own thoughts.
Or what if I'm like, "Oh, did you hear Sarah's baby niece got born?"
Oh, I thought you said baby daddy.
You know, it's like, you're gonna have a prayer meeting.
Oh no.
If it's, there's gossip is anything you know you're not supposed to share,
Oh.
right? I think we know those things. We know what we're not supposed to share.
No.
You don't know.
No.
You need to pray for discernment. Lord, give
change
her
her
discernment in Jesus' name.
I have
Yeah.
filter.
No gossiping, no condemning. All right?
No.
Condemning, no saying that somebody is horrible, awful, mean, anything like that. No pointing out people's faults. No pointing out that Pastor James takes the roundabouts way too fast and cuts off Sarah when he does.
Wait, I have one. Hey,
That's what you want.
but isn't it like to bring correction to someone's life is not also good as well?
Yes. So there's a difference between just pointing out
And
a
not.
fault and for the point of just pointing out a fault or doing it in a way that you want to help somebody grow in the Lord.
So like when you say that you get
What
an
are you
argument
doing?
and you just
What
point
you
out a
doing
fault,
now?
try to weigh the argument.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah. So it's not like like if I have anger issues, right?
Yeah.
And you come up to me and you say, "Hey, Pastor James, look, when you were sharing that today, you really kind of got angry." That's different than just, we're in a you said it perfectly, we're in a disagreement, you're like, yeah, well, you have anger issues, that's a little different. No embarrassing others, which is hard, yeah. Honestly, I like to have fun, and sometimes I'm sarcastic, and that one for me, I have to really work on, because sometimes I will say something that might embarrass somebody, just to be funny, but it's not really funny.
No, I'm sarcastic in a mean way sometimes.
Yeah, so don't do that. Try to be generous not doing that. No crossing boundaries, no ignoring others. Just because you want to ignore them. I'm not talking about keeping proper boundaries, that's different, but not just ignoring people.
But what if they're, never mind, sorry.
Yeah.
So here's that, let's bring some balance to that. So let's say somebody calls you,
Hello?
same person, 2 different times. One time they're calling you, you don't have anything going on, but you're just like, I don't really want to talk to this person.
I feel that.
And so you just ignore them, right? Try not to do that. Okay? But there's also a time when that same person might be calling you when it's totally inappropriate, right? Like, what I mean by that is, let's say it would be inappropriate for you to talk with them. Like, they called you tonight during service.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, yeah, of course, for instance, my sister called me in the middle of, while I was sharing.
Yeah.
I didn't answer because it would be inappropriate for me to do that. I ignored her, but it was for the right reason. So there are times when it's appropriate to ignore somebody.
I see where
But
you're...
like,
Yeah,
So don't ignore, like, selfishly.
right. Yeah, don't be selfish and ignore somebody just because.
I mean, like, what if they're like, what if you know that they're gonna like cling
And-
on to you if you're like nice to them and don't keep your distance?
That's when we talk about boundaries. And sometimes you have to set pretty clear boundaries. But we could talk
Like,
about
what if they don't? Well, yeah.
What if they don't respect boundaries? And
There are
also,
people-
what if
there are
they?
people like that
what
that
if
have a hard time?
There are like people. Okay, there are people who like, if you try to have a serious conversation with them or like try to set your boundaries or whatever, then they'll just like either stop talking to you or get mad at you or something. And like, you don't want to lose that person, but at the same time, you like want them to know that this is wrong. Or they need to like not do this, or they need to do this. Like,
And just tell them.
but then you could risk losing that person.
You could
Do
I
it.
mean, so
Obviously, there's something wrong with that friendship if you're
Yeah.
thinking about
So-
it.
yeah, they can't respect your boundaries.
That happens a lot in life.
Yeah.
It happens a lot in life. And what I've found is that you have 2 ways to handle that, really. To ignore it and to deal with it, or to handle the situation and just be upfront, kind, and loving, but being honest. And sometimes you have to pray for a long time before you find out how to deal with that situation. You don't handle it like right away all the time. Sometimes you give it some space and you pray and you're like, God, how do I handle this?
Or
What do I
sometimes-
say?
It's still
Huh?
Sometimes you don't even have to handle it. You just pray about it, and then, like, sometimes God can...
So yeah, sometimes God will just remove
Yeah.
the situation.
Yeah.
But pray about it, because there is such a thing, if you don't have proper boundaries, you'll have to have walls. Okay? And you don't want walls. Walls are destructive in every way. But and boundaries aren't bad. We all have boundaries. Like literally, if you know everybody in this room, you have a different boundary with every single person. You let certain people in certain ways, right? You'll share certain things with some people that you won't share with others. You'll go out and hang out in a certain way with one person, and you won't do that with another. I have one of my best friends is a guy who I will joke around with, and we'll just cut up and have a good time. But I don't always share my deepest secrets with him, not because I don't love him, but because we don't have that kind of relationship, right? There's another guy that I don't know that we've ever joked, like maybe lightly here and there, but it's not that kind of relationship. But if I'm having a struggle, like I call him all the time. And he's my accountability partner, right? But it's a very clear relationship, and it has clear boundaries. And so every relationship has boundaries. It's not bad. And sometimes you have to set those.
Well, if you don't have boundaries, it'd be worse.
Yeah.
Because then they think they can just do whatever, and then if you don't set like clear boundaries,
Yeah.
then they push the boundaries, and then you have to go to law, and then you might not be friends. Or something.
Right, and that's really hard because you really, in that instance, you're kind of at fault for that because they don't even know.
Or like when you
A lot of
start
times.
pushing the boundaries
What if
back.
they do know?
Huh?
Like when
but
you're
they're like,
moving the boundaries back.
Yes.
It's not like when a parent's like, don't touch that. Oh, you better put it down. No, stop walking away. No. And like the boundaries keep receding.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, then the kid knows that they have power over the situation and they're not gonna.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So the boundary, it keeps shifting.
Yeah.
Like they have control of the boundary.
Mhm.
So you have to set it and you have to make it clear. My son, I'm having to do that with him. Like he'll come up, initially he would come up and he would interrupt a conversation.
Apologize.
And he would interrupt the conversation and I would try to turn to him. I would try to turn to him and say, Christopher, not right now, come get, but he would then come right back up, come right back up, come right back up. And then it got to the point where I had to literally ignore him,
Yeah.
my own son. And that's hard. That's not easy. I don't want to do that. But ignore him. And then later go to him and say, son, that was inappropriate. And because you did that, I'm going to have to take away,
Nintendo.
then, yeah,
Time.
whatever it was. Yeah, so electronics, a movie, whatever it was. So you have to, you know, that boundary, you have to set it clearer and clearer.
Yeah.
And with a friend, that's a little difficult because you can't take away their Nintendo. But you can say, look, I love you and I love our friendship. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah.
So what is it okay if you ignore someone if you know that you're just gonna get mad at them? You know?
Yes. So that's a little different. So that's the other thing, is being nice, right? There are times, listen to me, there are times when it is inappropriate to talk to somebody because you're not ready. You know, the mama is saying, you know, they said, mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. There's a lot of truth to that. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't ever say anything, but if you are just going to be mad and lash out at them and you're not ready to talk to them, like you still might be mad when you talk to them, but you'll be ready to talk to them and not lash out. Because if you just wait to not be mad in some situations, you'll never talk. Sometimes you're just mad and you have to talk to get past that. You know, but if you're in the moment, you know you're not going to say the right thing, you know that you're not ready to handle it yourself, then absolutely, that to me is not just ignoring them. You might be ignoring their call or something, but you're trying to
work on yourself.
With Heather and I, like my marriage, there are times when we'll get in a discussion and she'll try to talk to me and I'll have to tell her, honey, I'm not ready. I'm not ready right now. You know, but then the deal is when I am ready, I have to go talk with her.
Well, yeah, and because each person responds differently to those kind of things. Some people can just walk away, deal with the anger, and be all fine. But some people actually need to talk about it to get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, but some people, when they walk away and they think they're fine, they've actually buried it rather than dealing with it. And then the next thing that happens is twice as bad because all that buried anger comes up. So I'm one of those people. And the reason I know that is because that's one of my big faults is I think I've dealt with it and I haven't. I've just buried it. And then the next thing that happens, it's like, bomb goes off.
Yeah, you explode on someone. Yeah.
So, is this okay? Is this good stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So be generous. So 21 days. I want you to think of something tonight. Pray about it. Don't just pick something out of the blue. Try to play with that. Pray about it. Ask God, what do you want me to give up? It can be one thing. It can be a big thing. You could not eat for 21 days and just drink water. I mean, if that's what or you could do a Daniel fast, which is another big thing. That is not easy. A Daniel fast is not easy. Or it may be just TV. If you're like, God, let me tell you something. If you're a person who likes TV, you may think that's easy, but when everybody in the house is not fasting television and every TV is on and you're fasting.
Oh, you gotta walk past everything? I know that. I used to do that.
Yeah, it is not easy.
TV's not hard. No.
It's not easy. And so, find something to fast and pray every day. Again, it doesn't have to be long. Just pray for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And if you don't know what to pray, pray the Lord's Prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah.
Give us today our daily bread, forgive us
And take each section and and try to find something to do with it. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Lord, you are holy, you are good, you are loving. I love you, God. And then you go to the next section. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Father, I pray that your will be done today. Lord, I don't know what today holds, but I'm asking that you will have your way in my life. And while you're at it, God, have your way in my parents' life and in my siblings' life, Lord God. I'm going to be at school today, and my friends need you. And so just as you're going, pray the Lord's Prayer, but stop at every little section, and it'll remind you, like, your kingdom come, your will be done. Oh yeah, your will, God. You know, give us this day our daily bread. Lord, I have needs today. And forgive us our trespasses, and we can forgive those who trespass. Lord, this person's rubbing me wrong. I pray you'll help me to forgive them. You know, each section will help you. So just do it 5 minutes. And then be generous. Find ways to be generous every day. Find a way to be generous. Ask God to help you. He will help you. God likes to help you. If you're open to it, just say, hey, Lord, show me. Show me what to do. Show me how to be generous. If it's not money, if it's not things, if it's time, it may be time, it may be treasure, it may be your talents, just being nice to somebody. If you're in a grumpy mood, because we all get there, every single one of us. If we're in a grumpy mood, sometimes just being nice is a great way to be generous. Right?
That's true.
Just being nice. Like going out of your way to be nice. Is this okay? Is this good stuff?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any thoughts on this as we're closing up? No? Sarah's good? Everybody good? You good?
Yes, sir.
Tony's good.
Story time.
Yeah.
Story time, yeah. I want to hear the story.
Okay. Well, we don't have to stand up to say, but
Here's the story.
okay.
Stand up.
It's gonna be a human video. Okay. You
What?
say it. I'll act it
No,
out.
no. I don't want.
You don't
I don't
want
want
to.
you to act this out.
Okay.
No.
In that case,
I mean, this would be pretty.
So first,
yeah, really.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's off.
What are you doing?
You can start it.
Alright. So yesterday, Juan and I were hanging out. We were playing basketball for like 2 hours, and there was like
who won?
huh?
Who won?
We were just messing around. But we didn't like.
We were
We
just
did
joking
one
around.
though.
Gotcha, you won. Okay, I got it. Keep going.
Yeah, but our 1v1 was interesting.
Yeah. So after like 2 hours, we went to Crazy Tony's, and then we came out and we sat like at a chair and everything like that, right? And then there was some like homeless guy, and he was vibing, right? And he was like just dancing like right in the middle of the night. Just dancing. And he had like
Is it?
and he had like a bathroom blanket on wrapped around, right? And he had a scooter. And then okay. And then we went to play basketball again. And like an hour later, he shows up at the basketball court, and he like goes around us, right? And then he stops. And like he looks at us he looks at us so intimidatingly, and he starts walking towards us like
He
all
starts,
nicely.
so basically, he shoots a shot, right? And it goes, and Tyler was going to get the ball, right? And this man is just walking up to me with a death stare. He's like, he's on the chunky side. He's just walking towards me. He's staring at my eyes. I'm like, okay, I don't have anything for you. But
No, and he gets so mad, like he drop kicked the basketball. He got so mad when he missed.
And you
like,
didn't tell me
and
this?
just not a single word he spoke to us. And then we like, alright, we're gonna go. And then one thought I was gonna like say, just take off, right? And we're like,
I thought we were
gonna
gonna
go.
book
We
it.
left. And then we went and waited in the truck for like 10 minutes or so. And then waited for him to leave the basketball court. And we come back and we saw him cross the street, right? From the basketball court. Alright. And then you get it.
alright, so basically, once we get on the basketball court, we look around. He's just staring at us with some eyes that like it was so scary. But he was like in front of the cold grill, like we were far. Right? He's just staring at us.
He was smoking something. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He was definitely like you could see him far away, smoke blowing out of his nose, anything like that.
But anyway, after that we were well,
We were still playing basketball.
yeah, we were still playing basketball. We were 1v1, and then we see him across the street, right? He's riding on his scooter, and there's a woman who wants to back out.
No, and he goes.
He goes in front of the car.
And then she flips him off. The window is down. Right? She flips him off, and he gets mad, flips her up, kicks her car, and she speeds off.
He throws the scooter.
runs, and he runs, picks up the scooter, and starts like menacingly skirting past her
Chasing her
on
down.
the road.
On a scooter.
Like an electric scooter or?
No, it was just a normal scooter. It was just
Go, and, yeah. And then she speeds off, right? And then he does like a circle, comes back around, and he goes on the side of the road, and just goes down, and truck's honking his horn at him and everything. He's just unbothered by it. And then, yeah. So we're nice. Okay, so basically we're saying that if you're not nice people, they might throw speed away. So,
Oh yeah.
So that's the moral.
yeah, be
The
nice.
moral is if you're not nice,
Watch me
you'll
first.
get chased by a scooter.
Tanner.
Okay, so one of the things we don't want to do is overshare. Okay, oversharing is bad. So I'm glad you guys did not lose your life.
I
That
thought it
was
was so
scary.
funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Give you any
Like he smoked so much, his voice box disintegrated.
That happens.
No, okay. So I've been
You
around.
said you didn't talk.
Cause he couldn't.
Cause he couldn't.
I said corrected.
No, I thought it was hilarious. So.
Like it is fun. It is
Tyler got the ball. He said, "We're gonna go now." And the guy goes.
Yeah, he was like.
Slay.
Okay.
No, he was something. He was something.
Wow. If you all see, listen, if you all see a guy on a scooter, this is a place for proper boundaries.
No.
Proper boundaries are going under the
And he had a Batman blanket on, right? Like it's tied around him, and he had a Batman blanket on. Yeah.
Did you give him a name?
No.
Gerald. Batman.
He was.
All right, listen.
Super
We're gonna
Batman.
spend some time. Would you go to the keyboard course for just a few minutes? We're gonna spend a little bit of time, just asking the Lord to show us what He wants from this 21 days. And if you want something changed in your life, and you feel like you can't change it, that's good, because you probably can't, but God can. As somebody who has seen Him, I had, and I've said this before, I had an addiction for 30 years that I didn't think I would ever get rid of. And God set me free. He set me free. I couldn't do it on my own. I tried everything I could. I prayed more. I fasted more. I read the Bible more. I did everything I could, even spiritually, to try and conquer this thing, but I couldn't do it on my own. But then I allowed God to really do some deep things in me. Get rid of some mess in my life. Heal some wounds. And also, to be honest, for that particular thing, I went and I got help. I went to a Christian ministry to help deal with addictions. And God used that to set me free. And so you may not be able to do it on your own, but God can. And these 21 days can be the start. Let Him do what He wants to do in your life. Fast, pray, be generous. See what things look like at the end of these 21 days. And we'll celebrate that last night. Okay? I'm not sure how yet. We're still figuring that out. We'll celebrate it somehow. We'll get together.
We should get ice cream
Ice cream. Ice cream.
and pizza.
Ice cream and how about ice cream and pizza? Is there a thing? So the altar is open if you guys or anywhere. It really doesn't have to be the altar. You can sit in the chair, you can lay down. You can talk with one another. But let's take this time and allow the Lord to speak to us. Thank you. You're good.
Stop asking.
By the way, as we're closing up, and I want us to be able to spend time with the Lord, but I want to be really clear about something. Please don't go outside unless your ride is here. I mean, if you're your own ride, that's one thing. But I want to make sure, because we do live in a place.
That crazy dude.
Well, we do. We live not too far.
We also live in Arizona, so
Yeah. And
Wait,
so
let's
we want to
make
make sure that you all stay safe. So please don't go outside unless we know that your ride is here. Okay?
Gyms are usually crazy.
So, all right, let's spend some time with the Lord. Thank you. for Pastor Greg. Lord, we lift him up into your hands, Father God. We love him so much. God, he's the reason we're here. He's touched every single one of our lives in some way. Even our new friend Tony, God, he's here tonight. He's coming in here into a place that Pastor Greg created, to a family that Pastor Greg nourished, fed, and grew. We pray, God, that you'll touch him tonight, that you'll touch Pastor Greg, that you'll touch his body, bring healing to his heart. God, you're able to do it. You're able to do what doctors can't. I know that. We ask, God, that you'll touch him.
Yes.
Bring healing to him. Let his systems all work like they should. Let his lungs work like they should. His heart, his circulatory system work like it should, Lord God. Let the blood get rid of all the fluid that needs to be gotten rid of. And I thank you for it. Let him rest peacefully tonight.
Yes.
And I pray for Debbie and his daughters, Lord, all of them. I pray, God, that you'll give them strength and encouragement, that they'll sense your presence and your peace. They'll sense your joy and your love in the midst of all the questions and all the things that are going on. Let your presence rest in their homes, God. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much for Pastor Greg. We love him, God. Wrap your arms around him tonight. We can't do it right now, but you can.
Yes.
Let him know that you're with him, that we're thinking of him and praying for him, and that we love him, God. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
We
sunrise.